The events page is a great way to promote upcoming opportunities to your volunteers and allow them to self-register. You can create events for a specific day so they show up on the calendar, or you can add them to the system without a date and they will appear in a list view at the top of the screen. The list view is a great option for something that takes place over multiple days. At any time, you can edit the information for a current event. These are the same fields you will see each time you create a new event on Track It Forward. For instance, you can decide what shifts you want volunteers to sign up for on a given day. You can decide how long they need to stay, what jobs need done, and how many volunteers are required for each task. This allows you to easily manage when people are showing up and who's responsible for what task. You can include an attachment if there's some kind of waiver or flyer you want to show volunteers for an event. Under Event Activity, you can decide if you want to link the event to a specific activity on your hour log. From a reporting standpoint, this keeps your hours and categories consistent. You can decide if you want the system to notify volunteers, the organizer, or neither after an event and remind them to log hours. Next, you can decide if you want to keep the event private by requiring a Track It Forward account, or you can decide that it's open to the public and encourage one-time volunteers by selecting No. If you select No, somebody would be able to sign up for a shift with just their name, email address, and phone number without actually creating a Track It Forward account under your organization. In the Notifications section, you can decide when you want the system to notify volunteers and organizers about event activity. In the Privacy section, you can decide if the event is open to all volunteers or if you want to restrict access based on volunteer profile information. For instance, you might want to restrict access to freshmen or seniors only. You can also decide if you want the RSVP list visible so they can see who else has signed up for a shift, or if you want to restrict that access to managers only. To further restrict an event, you can also set a password and then share that with individual volunteers who are eligible for a certain opportunity. Finally, in the More Settings area, you have the ability to create and manage categories if you want to color coordinate your calendar for volunteers. This makes it easy for them to filter the opportunities by their interest to see what opportunities are available. By default, the person creating the event will be set as the organizer. However, you can easily change this at any time if you are creating the event on behalf of somebody else. The organizer is the person at the organization who receives all emails about RSVPs and cancellations. You can also decide what you want the workflow state to be. If you're ready to make the event active, by default it will be set to published. However, if you're not ready for volunteers to see the event yet, you can make it a draft. You can also make it a template if it's something that's a reoccurring event and you want to have access to at a later date. Finally, you can decide if you want volunteers to associate hours to this event. By default, this will be set to yes, but you have the option of setting it to no if you do not want volunteers to associate hours from the event to their hour log. At any time, this information can be edited for a current event as changes occur. For more information on managing your existing events, check out some of our other resources in the Help Library.